If you've been feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or just not like yourself lately, your nervous system might be dysregulated. Life can get really intense sometimes, and when it does, our nervous systems end up holding a lot more than we realize. And if we're not actively supporting it, that stress can start to build up in the body. So, today I want to share some simple ways to stay regulated. And I also want to talk about how stress and trauma can get stored in the body and how to start releasing that. Regulating your nervous system is a lifelong practice. It's not something that you just fix once and then you're done. It is something that you have to come back to over and over again. And when your nervous system is dysregulated, it doesn't always look the way that you might expect it. It can show up as anxiety, overwhelm, feeling like you're in survival mode. It could also show up like procrastination, shutting down, overthinking, feeling irritated, or just feeling off and not like yourself. A lot of people think that this comes from trauma, and yes, the body does store experiences. Trauma isn't just what happened, it's what didn't get processed. But dysregulation isn't always caused by big obvious things like trauma. Sometimes it's the accumulation of life. Your nervous system responds to what it perceives as pressure and not just danger. It can also be things like chronic stress, juggling work and kids and responsibilities, lack of sleep or burnout, big life transitions, even positive ones, emotional overload from holding everything together, hormonal shifts, not having enough support, constant stimulation from noises and screens and social media. Could be from feeling rushed or even just having too many decisions to make. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between this is dangerous and this is a lot. It just knows that this feels like too much. And when your body doesn't get the chance to complete those stress cycles, even the small ones, they start to stack up. And over time, they can start to look exactly like dysregulation. Even exciting, happy things can dysregulate your nervous system, like growth and change and putting yourself out there. Your body can just read that as unsafe simply because it's unfamiliar. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or not like yourself, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It might just mean that your nervous system has been holding more than it's had the chance to process. So today I'm just going to share some really practical ways to help reset your nervous system. You might even want to take a few notes, especially of the things that feel good and enjoyable to you, so that you can come back to them the next time you're feeling triggered and you can try one. Because regulation is often a lot simpler than we think, the hardest part is actually just noticing when you're in dysregulation and then choosing to do something that supports you in that moment. So, to make this easier, I have grouped everything into 3 simple categories. So the first category is movement-based regulation. And this is anything that helps your body move and release the built-up energy. So this can look like going for walks in nature, by the water, around your neighborhood, or like anywhere that feels calming to you. It could be physical exercise, like going to the gym or working out at home. Even yoga and stretching, dancing, even just putting your favorite music on and moving your body around your house. I personally love that one. You could also try things like gardening, getting a massage, or even just caring for your houseplants, like watering them, removing the dead leaves, and Like those small repetitive movements can actually be really soothing for your mind and body. And something that I tried recently that really surprised me was EFT tapping. I woke up one day feeling really panicked and my hands were actually shaking, and I didn't really know what to do. I had never tried tapping before and I didn't even know the proper technique, but I just started tapping on my wrists like this and on my chest and my face a little bit, and then I kind of went back down my body. Um, and within a few minutes, my body started to calm down and the shaking stopped. Um, that was really powerful for me to experience. So give it a try. I think maybe it's just that your nervous system, like it gives your nervous system something to focus on and helps bring your body like out of that heightened state. I know there's more science behind it, but even just trying it intuitively made a huge difference for me. So yeah, it was pretty powerful. So because trauma gets stored in the body, it's very hard to just think your way out of it. So movement helps to release that stored energy. So the next category is breath and presence. This is all about slowing your body down and bringing yourself back into the present moment. You can start really simply just with your breath, even just placing your hands on your heart and taking 3 slow, deep breaths can begin to calm your nervous system down. You can also explore things like mindfulness or meditation, just giving yourself a few moments to be still and aware. And this category can also include creative things like drawing or coloring or doing a craft, playing music or singing. Even if you don't think you're a good singer, just put some of your favorite music on and sing your heart out, and that can be such a powerful way to release stored energy. You might also find regulation in quiet moments. So sitting alone, being in the sunshine, even if it's just coming through your window. I always say that there's a reason cats and dogs love laying in the sun. It's really healing. Watching the sun rise or sunset is another one of my favorites. It really brings you back into the moment. And that's really what this category is all about. Just giving your body space to slow down and be present and just exist for a minute. One more thing that really ties into this category is remembering that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness watching your thoughts. So practicing being the observer is incredibly powerful. It just starts with simply noticing first your movements and then your emotions. And ask yourself, does this feel expansive or contracting? Don't attach to anything, just witness it. And listen to your body. It will tell you what's good for you and what's not. So starting with awareness and then intentionally observing can completely change how you experience your nervous system and your day-to-day life. So the third category is self-care rituals. And this is all about intentionally doing things that nurture your body, your mind, and your soul. It can be as simple as taking a bath or a shower, enjoying a cup of tea or your favorite non-alcoholic drink, reading or journaling, practicing gratitude, or making more space for sleep and rest. That is incredibly important. Let yourself rest when you need it. Eating healthier foods, like adding more fruits and vegetables to your meals, can really support your nervous system too. You can also connect with animals or just do something that brings you joy, and really like anything that makes you smile and feel good. These Small intentional rituals add up over time and can make a big difference in how regulated and supported you feel every day. Regulation isn't dramatic, it's often very gentle, and that's why I like to think of it as like a self-care lifestyle. It's just a really grounded, gentle way to make sure that you're consistently supporting your nervous system. So even when life's going well, like keeping these healthy habits going just makes everything so much easier and to stay balanced and it's easier to pull yourself out of these negative spirals when things start to get overwhelming. So just choose to do some of these practices every day. Make it a habit and let self-care become part of how you live. Now, I do want to mention something important. When you start practicing new ways to regulate your nervous system, you might notice some resistance at first, and that's completely normal. It's actually just your nervous system adjusting to new, unfamiliar ways of being. So like even healthy habits can feel uncomfortable before they start to feel natural, and that's okay. This just happens because your subconscious prefers what's familiar. Even patterns that aren't helpful can feel safe because they're predictable. But the great news is your brain is very capable of change, and thanks to neuroplasticity, it can rewire itself. So the key is repetition and consistency. The more that you practice these new habits, the more your nervous system learns that they're safe and sustainable, and then over time these new habits become easier and more natural and automatic. So don't give up, keep choosing these healthy changes, and over time you'll create these healthy, lasting habits that will support your nervous system and help you stay regulated, even when things get overwhelming. So sometimes though, even when you do work to regulate your nervous system, you might still feel stuck. And that can be a sign that there's unprocessed trauma lingering in your body. Healing happens in layers, and you can only release what you're willing to acknowledge. And this is where shadow work comes in. A simple way to think about shadow work is that you're shining a light on the parts of yourself that you usually avoid. So the thoughts, feelings, or memories that you just don't want to face, and then asking yourself why you think and feel the way that you do, and keep asking yourself why until you get to the root of it. This helps release that trapped energy that's stuck in your body. One practical exercise that you can try is a releasing ceremony. So you just write down everything that you're ready to let go of, and then safely destroy that paper. And then after that, just write down all the positive things that you're calling into your life. But yeah, for deeper trauma work, working with a therapist can be incredibly helpful. You do not have to do this alone. There's also many tools like journaling exercises or guided prompts that can support you as you explore shadow work safely. But yeah, so here's the thing. You're never done regulating your nervous system. Life just keeps happening and things get messy, even when you're living in your positive, optimistic bubble. That's why it's just so important to have self-care as a lifestyle. And just remember that the goal isn't perfection. The goal is just creating safety in your body. And when your nervous system is regulated, it creates clarity, and clarity leads to aligned action, and then aligned action helps you create the life that you're trying to manifest. Your energy feels coherent and grounded and balanced when your nervous system is regulated. So yeah, I really hope that there's something here that helps you feel a little bit more grounded and safe today. Just please take one small step for yourself. You deserve it. And just remember that this is a lifelong practice, not a one-time fix, But yeah, you've got this. Don't give up. I just want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And I just really hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day.